fan, Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2? Make a prediction for picks and bans. Play CSGO? Discover more than 5 various kinds of bets just for a single map. Daily quests for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Getting tired of playing with the usual skins, but don't have enough money to buy a new one? Get rich fast with CSGoFast.com. CSGoFast. It's a strong chance of winning in every game. Several rooms with different game modes. Daily, more than 1,000 games, 5,000 players, and 25,000 skins at stake. You don't need much in order to sweep the board.
Welcome back to the Starladder iLeague Star Series Season 2. We have just witnessed the first map of Hellraisers versus Alternate aTTaX. My name is Tombiz14, and joining me will be Flakes. And, well, do you think there's a chance of a comeback on Cash?
No.
Oh, that was just mean. I think there's definitely a chance. I'm all for the German
should
side.
we just draw a line in between the deaths then? Because I think clearly there's a bit of a difference of opinion.
I kind of still think Hellraisers.
Yeah, let's be realistic. They're subtly saying, I believe there's a chance, and there's kind of just that undergarment thought. Just
I believe
saying,
I can fly.
I mean, you might be able to believe you can fly. I hear Red Bull gives you wings, but it doesn't end up amounting to much.
Well, I hear Monster is nice. Yeah.
Good talk. Of course, we're going to be rolling straight on over into Cash, but a cringe segment there. But either way, it's going to be straight into that Cash map now. Alternate aTTaX versus Hellraisers. Looks like we're going to be thrown straight into the first round here. No knife round going to be taking place. It's already going to be HR starting on that T side. aTTaX on that CT side. And already we're seeing that triple push roll in. aTTaX looking to get themselves a quick piece of information. HR on the other hand looking to make a quick buck. They want to go for that A site, get themselves the bomb down nice and quickly. The one problem they've got is aTTaX. They are going to be raring to go. They've got that retake set up in full force.
No kit,
one thing they're lacking is going to be that kit.
Yeah, that's a bit of a... I think we both realised that at the same time. Like, I always question when teams go for a retake strategy. Like, they set up as if that's exactly what they're doing, but they don't have a kit in play, because it basically means that they limit themselves. I know it's only 5 seconds, but 5 seconds in Counter-Strike when you have 40 is quite a big deal. After plant positions are not bad, but actually Angel's going to be caught out by Casey, bringing this back to a 4 versus 4. But they still have a lot of map control at the moment, and with 3 players pushing in from behind, they really needed to make more of an impact. It is actually going to be Casey doing a hell of a lot of work, and now Keith, he's back to a 1v1, but the fact is the bomb is ticking pretty damn hefty now. It's only going to have a matter of seconds to actually get this, and I don't even think he has time, even if he wanted to. He's going to go for the knife kill, because he's got nothing else left to lose. And in fact, he's not going to get it either way. So, round going to Hellraisers, sort of why you need a kit if you're going to play that sort of strategy. And, well, Casey gave it a damn good go. The only problem was 3 players rotating through that sort of A main area. They took way too long to take out the players in that scenario. And when they did, there was only 1 of them left.
I feel like he would have had a lot more time to play with if he just bought a kit. And ultimately, that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is why if you're going to play retake A setup, please, just buy a kit. Make your life easier. Give yourself an extra 20 seconds to work with, because... well, it might just be a 5-second kit and shortening that defuse. But as you said, Counter-Strike, time is everything. And well, every second can turn itself well and truly into 5. Because now Angel going to be looking for something over with this towards A main. He's got the SMG in hand, looking to make himself some money. Damage will be done. That HG grenade will connect. He should finish him off. Just going to let him give away, but a skim for this teeth, but it doesn't matter. Smike going to find 2, Zero finding one of his own, taking down Tizian. These AKs are doing the work. So the SMGs aren't making money just yet, but they are doing
Well, even if, the thing for me is even if the SMGs don't do any damage, they play a sort of role where they basically seek out the remaining players. They just run around, they spot out where everybody is. If they die, well, we've lost an SMG. If they get a kill, we've made some money. It's sort of a win-win. Whereas there's sort of the scenario where you look at okay, we've gone for full rifles. One player dies, you lose a rifle. You don't have anybody who can just run in, and there's no risk behind it. Same time, you go full SMGs. If things do go wrong with the SMGs, you don't have any rifles to back them up. So normally you see 2 or 3, which we sort of have here. We have 3. Teams that want to make a bit more money may go for only 2, and well, in this scenario, it's just sort of worked out for them. They've managed to get things nice and clean. Sicko has been thrown over the SMG, and he's going to make that extra cash, while Angel will now play with the rifle from further back to make sure that that's still kept in play. So very smart stuff at the moment from Hellraisers. We are just going to see pistol board up onto Casey. That's mainly off the back of him being able to get 3 kills in the first round. So that, of course, additional money will just go straight into a deagle. In terms of the rest of the team, they're not really going to go for anything. Keith going to be saving up for that AWP, which should be able to come in with a little bit of Kevlar or nades, depending on what he wants to go for. And, well, same setup exactly for Hellraisers, so they didn't lose any players.
It's all about not losing that man advantage, finding yourself a very dominant victory, Tom. And that's what we're looking at HR, at least in my point of view. They're going to be trying to claim, just nice and smooth 2-0s. We're going to be seeing what is a bit of an interesting one, just towering away. We can see exactly how this one will unfold. Already a couple of shots being rattled over towards mid, but they aren't going to amount to anything. The attacks, actually got no one there.
And now we're just waiting for the alternate attack side to either go aggressive or just wait for their doom, because there isn't really too much you can hope to achieve. KZ with the Deeg may be able to do an extra damage, and if they can get into a sort of sneaky position and get a few shots off, then maybe there's a chance for them to find a kill or 2, but to win the round, you'd be going 99-1 in the sort of odds perspective here. Sisson already going to be the first to drop. There is another player in the smoke, in fact 2, but Bondic should be able to spot out both of them, clears out the first, Angel will find the second, and now there is only 1 player left for them to actually find. That's going to be Tizzy, and with the USP, if he can even find a frag, that would be nice and valuable, but doesn't look like that's going to be the case, and well, they are just going to hunt him and earn up the extra $300.
It's all about making money. Hellraisers, they are going to be well and truly looking to roll, and that Skrilla, the interesting factor for me is, are they still going to keep these 2 UMPs in play, or are they finally going to see an upgrade come into fruition? Because taking into account, they have at minimum $5,000 on every single player, some of them just extending to $7,000. So it's certainly a bit of an interesting prospect, but it seems they're going, you know what, we might have $5,000 in the bank, but why have $5,000 when we can get $6,000 or $7,000? As they're going to keep those 2 UMPs well and truly in play, looking to take down aTTaX in another buy round, as now we're seeing the AWP enter the play. Kiev going to be the man to wield it.
Well, this is the bonus round scenario. They'll have a buy in the next. Even if they lose, they'll reset the loss bonus of the CT side and mean that if they win the next one, it'll be even more valuable to their case. So definitely is one of those worthwhile scenarios. Many teams will go for this, and well, so far they're just going to go very aggressive onto that A site, already getting a lot of positional advantage, and Angel even going to take down the first frag. There's only 1 player on the side itself. That's going to be Crispy. Will manage to grab himself a frag. There's still 2 UMPs in play at the moment, and Sticko's actually going to grab one. Now Searson going very aggressive, trying to get 2, but only going to get away with the first. Still in behind, is going to be tapping away, but now he's completely blind. Sticko going to pick up another one and continuing his reign of terror from the last map. Now we're looking at 2 rifles versus, well, a rifle and an AWP. Keeb will manage to find 1, and here comes that push. Tizzy, aggressive, finds the frag. Only 1 more to find, and he gets both. So they will at least get this round. Not particularly clean. Not going to be making a huge amount of money back off it, but it's a round nonetheless.
Tizian coming with a nice spray down to close that one off. And it does give us an interesting talking point of the fact that Tizian wasn't a player that was too huge at all in that last game. For him to open things up like that, that's something, but he has to keep things going. It's all well and good finding yourself a short-term victory, but long-term is what counts. As now on the HR side of things, they're going to be really living true to that sentiment. They've got the AWP coming to play on Smike, they've got the rifles coming up to boot. And for all intents and purposes, they have the perfect buy. The perfect counter, some would say, to aTTaX, but it comes down to how both teams choose to play this one. As already Smike goes for peek, misses the shot, gets punished by Crispy, as he will be meeting the bullets of that M4A4.
Yeah, we are going to have a little bit of aggression coming out early on, which will allow for 1 player on the T side to actually fall, and the AWP has gone over to Sticko, not somebody we'd really associate with this AWP too often, especially with Smike picking it up the majority of the time, but after his demise it will be picked back up. We do see Bondic playing up close on that A site at the moment and waiting for his teammates to sort of get back in a little bit, just standing in the corner of the squeaky position, and it's looking like they're just going to be waiting to build into this site together. 2 players remain. There's a couple over towards mid, so a quick rotation will definitely be available. Already we're going to see some counter nades being thrown out to slow them down even more. And, well, you can already see there's 3 players now on this side. Plenty of positional play for the CT side and a man advantage even. And up until the point, Angel makes the first kill.
Nice way for HR to kick things off. Back to an equal situation. Casey White out of the ante. Serson doing just the same. But Trades nonetheless still flying backwards and forwards. aTTaX, they're looking for this one well to fly off the handle. Now Sizzing going to be looking for another frag. With the AWP will roll out. Sticker will take him down. Directly towards Carl, right where the player will walk straight into their angles of Kiev. He's been going very aggressive, trying to find that close range shot with a smoke. That's going to help them out wonders. Now they will go for the fake plant. He finds the first shot, going for the second, sitting in the smoke, just playing that patience game with a pistol. It's going to be routing down the shots, and it goes to the no-scope. Misses it by the skin of his teeth, and it will be Sicko to find the headshot with the Glock. But let's just talk about that no-scope, just an inch, a centimetre to the right, and he would have hit it.
Yeah, not quite going to manage to do it though, and this is that problematic scenario we spoke about just moments ago, the fact that if Alternate aTTaX win one, lose one, then it's not really going to be too much of a detriment to the T side. You can see they've gone for a force buy here. They don't want to be saving for a couple of rounds anyway, so they're just going to go for the force in this one, possibly have to save the next, and then go for a buy after that. It may mean that there's not so much of a chance for Keith to actually get an AWP, but can play the rifles, just not quite as effectively as with that AWP. Either way, it's going to be a difficult round. Looking at Crispy with the only non-pistol weaponry in the game at the moment on that CT side, and, well, maybe some Deagle magic.
Well, I'm going to be looking to see whether aTTaX will be able to find anything in this round. Maybe going to be making just a couple of $100 with that UMP. But it's a whole lot of maybes for what will be a fairly bleak scenario. SHR are going to be looking to take this one in a very surgical fashion. Zero just scoping out towards Toxic, seeing if Tizian will decide to go for that overface, but I don't think it's going to be taking place. One nice thing for they tend to play just a little bit safer after that first map, but Angel, he's going to kick things off. Serson finding one with a pistol. Zero will trade it straight back though, punishing him. One by one attacks. They seem to be falling. There's not too much to say. So they're going to try their best. Angel will find another frag, refusing to get punished. As Crispy going to be running straight into his death.
Yeah, this is, well, not going to be too much damage done. Maybe able to get one more, but Zero will actually find that frag. So 4 players surviving for the T side and starting things off very nicely. We haven't actually talked too much about the actual map side so far, which obviously Hellraisers are on that favoured side, sort of the 9-6, 10-5, the more common of the halves, but definitely possible to bring rounds together on that CT side. The only problem at the moment is that economy game, which really isn't working out too well for the German side, and they are going to have to try and get their money rolling, get some rounds on the board consistently if they are actually going to be able to bring this one back.
You have got the pistols they can tap away with. We've seen it in the past, Tom, but unfortunately, some people may well and truly have clocked onto this factor, but I'm in the HR camp at least for this round, because with these pistols up against the might of these rifles, it should just be just a well and truly nice and easy chicken shoot. But HR, they're taking this one still fairly slowly. They don't want to be going for any too extended risk. Is that Heishi grenade going to be doing some damage of its own, knocking Citizen down to 56 HP, so a huge HE at that. It's still going to be a very slow round.
Yeah, already we see that first frag coming in. Not expecting too much realistically from the Alternate aTTaX side. Even damage at this point may not do too much, and we are seeing somewhat of a similar scenario to what we saw on Nuke, which is quite a scary prospect really, as it could force them out of the game. They need to get themselves back on the board relatively quickly and then go for more of a string, because although we're talking about a similar sort of scoreline, I feel like you need a little bit more, maybe 6 sort of on this CT side to really have a confident position to move forward into the round. Either way, we are going to see this push. There is a stack at the moment, so the CTs definitely have an opportunity to do a bit of damage, but a couple of players are going to be forced out of the site. The 2 on the site don't have too much to play with. They're going to have to hit some pretty crazy shots, but Keith will manage one. Keith actually getting a second, and nice amount of damage done by him at least. Possibility to find a little bit more, but it looks like they're just going to hunt him down. Zero going to go jumping around the corner, and it will actually be 3 players surviving in the end.
You know, I hear holding W and jumping and just holding mouse 1 is a real great way to find frags. And apparently, I mean, it's working for HR. Zero just diving straight over those boxes, not letting go.
Why you have to be mad?
I'm just kind of just like, how does that come into fruition? Bit of an interesting way for that one to play out, but it will be HR taking another round on the board. They've made it that 6 scenario. aTTaX, they do have to start bringing something back. You know, jokes and bias, however you want to put it aside, they do have to bring something back, because we should be seeing at least that 6-9 scoreline.
Yeah, we are looking now for the CT side to start their step up. If they do not, then they really may be in some trouble. The buys will be coming more frequently as the loss bonus begins to bounce back once more, as they've now lost 3 rounds in a row. The next will be the 4th, and 2,900 coming into their bank accounts. We do have an AWP on Sakib. They are suffering a little bit with the utility, but will at least do some early damage in the hands of Crispy. Going to take an eye on the same straight back from Bondik, who's playing towards the door at the moment, and 3 players currently gathering up in A main are going to make things a little bit more difficult. They have got players on the site, and another 4 mid, still playing quite a hefty strategy, but Angel is going to push straight out, find that entry. They have managed to hold Bondik out for a moment. The 3rd player coming from mid will actually make that rotation, but Angel's just going all over the shop at the moment. Grabs another kill. Searson will manage to trade one back, but he's in a bit of a predicament. Has to be a little bit careful in this scenario. Now we're going to see Tizian make his move. Finds one. Nice work. Drops the bomb. It flies towards him. Now they don't need to go too aggressive, but Smike, he's going to be handed a kill as Searson peaks once again. The smoke will buy a little bit more time for the CT side to play with, and the rotation has already come in from Kiev, which could be crucial. The only problem is that mid presence is now there. Smike going to find one, and quickly Zero finds the second.
You mentioned buying more time, but they had more time and they still did absolutely nothing with it. We just saw someone tiptoe over towards CT wall. But even then, there wasn't, too much thought to it, it seemed. They just kind of decided, we're going to sit to the left of the smoke, we're going to tiptoe through a CT wall and try and maybe get ourselves on towards site. But there didn't seem to be too much cohesion or team play.
Well, the thing for me, the real problem was Searson, because they had a 3-pronged attack with one over towards mid, they had one on the site, and then they had one over towards the car, which was perfect. It made things very, very difficult. But the problem was, the second Searson went down, Zero then rotated around, took over highway, they lost that prong of their defense, and everything just fell apart from there. We saw a player on the side die, and they all find the other kill. And I just feel like him peeking out aggressively was not necessary when they had the bomb in their midst. So, yeah, Smike doing some nice work, picking up the players who peeked into his crosshair, but that's exactly what you expect from Europa, and it seemed like the alternate attack side just weren't expecting him to hit those shots, which is nigh on madness.
A 2-prong fork proving to be a little bit lackluster. That's what I took from that. Now, today's site, but it's going to get punished. Smike will come in with speed. Searson trying to find something, it gets taken down by Bondik. Just find ourselves repeating history as Steve. Well, he's going to find something with the Deagle, but he seems to be the only player to do the damage in these sort of rounds. Well, it's Tizian, he's not going to find anything. Smike stepping up with Tech 9, finds 2 headshots back to back. And we find ourselves at an 8-1 scenario. And let's just kind of almost have a bit of a flashback, because taking a look at the scoreline, Tom, we've discussed a 6-9. What can aTTaX do here?
Well, they still have their pause. It has been 5 buy rounds in a row, and I think sort of after 4 buy rounds in a row, it is a bit of a problematic scenario. Nobody really stepping up at the moment for the alternate attack side has highlighted it. On the other side of things, you've got Smike, who's only died twice, which is pretty insane, especially for an AWPer. Normally they are expected to get caught out a little more, especially if they're on the T side and have to peek into angles. Either way, Kiev, off the back of the loss bonus, has been able to get himself an AWP. It's maxed now, so 3,400 will be coming in for every single round they lose, as long as they continue to lose, although I wouldn't recommend that that's the best scenario in the world when you're already at 8-1. Either way, quite a heavy presence towards mid at the moment. 1 player over towards A, couple around the vent position, but ultimately only 1 on the B site itself. And, well, again, it's sort of building up what looks like towards A again, and I don't really blame Hellraisers at this stage. If they've only lost 1 round, then clearly that constant A hit is actually working out for them.
Yeah, timing looking already a little bit rough. aTTaX. Well, they've got that 3-prong hold on towards A this time around, but are they going to repeat history? Will they give away the man of attack and find themselves on the weaker back foot? It's that Molotov is going to be doing work, forces a play out of Squeaky. The flash looks like it's going to be rolling in. The piece of aggression here could prove to be horrible, but it's actually going to work out in their favour. KZY will find one, quickly taken down by Smike, so the trade coming in full force, but the Molotovs will now force them back once again. But the difference is, Tom, they don't have control of the bomb.
Yeah, the bomb going to be rolling around towards that B site now. 1 player has made the cross, and Searson will actually find Smike in the meantime as he's trying to rotate. This is going to give them the man advantage. Keith managing to find one. Tizian burning away, but he's not the point of contact at the moment as Searson manages to grab another while pushing through the vent. Finally, alternate aTTaX have made something of this. There's no chance for Bondik. No real point to him going more aggressive, but he does have plenty of cash to play with and will just die anyway. So 8-2. Obviously, there'll be a buy coming back, a ludicrous amount of money. As said, that was only the third death for Smike, meaning he still has plenty of cash to actually buy up with, and will even throw over a couple of rifles to some teammates, spending 10 grand and still having 6 left.
Now, I don't want to be the naysayer of this castle, but I've got to say, the potential of Hellraisers taking back this round, and once again smashing aTTaX's economy and throwing away that loss bonus, it's a bit horrifying.
Yeah, it is sort of one of those problematic scenarios at the moment. He will go aggressive though, starting things off very nicely. Going to look for a little bit more. He's continuing this rain, and well, the AWPer has stepped up huge in this round. Something that was necessary, I dare say, at this point. Really looking for this guy to go off the chains. Wasn't really there too much on that first map. And well, it looks like he's finally awoken. But will it be enough? That's the big factor. They have got themselves a 2-man advantage in this round. Want to keep this one as clean as humanly possible. Well, already keep getting a third, just rotating his position around. Will grab another frag. The push is going to come in onto the A site. It's without the bomb, so not really trying anything too crazy. And Smike, he's just going to be waiting to try and at least do some damage. KZ looks like he's about ready to go for this peak, but he's just really holding an angle, and I think that's a smart decision. They don't really need to challenge us too much. Smike will grab the first keep, just waiting over towards the car position. Should be ready and waiting to try and do the damage at this point. Already we see the fallback to try and grab the bomb. A little bit skeptical at this stage as they have lost so much map control, being Smike the only player left alive, and he's actually going to go peeking for this one, looking for a little bit more. Trying to find something into this round at least. The flashbang will be thrown out, and straight away Keeve is there. Wonderful round from the AWPer on the alternate attack side. Quad kill. Not quite managing to get the ace, but still very impressive.
If there's one thing aTTaX needed, albeit it's still a little bit late into this game, there's still an opportunity for them to bring back this half. And kind of my original point there was the fact that Keeve, stepping up like that, now he has to keep it going. They certainly need it in that round, so they have themselves in a more stabilised economy. Now is the time for him to funnel that energy, keep it well and truly going, as we're in that 12th round, looking to see what he can do in this one, as the Monsters will just rain down over towards Boost, denying Smike to get on the top there, but they're going to smoke it off, which means they're going to be going for a quick and aggressive push. More certain he can find himself in a very uncomfortable scenario, as it looks like he's going to find himself trapped.
Yeah, a lot of presence over towards mid at the moment. See every single player trying to get over into that sort of position and hold these sort of trade angles. Angel is slightly isolated, but will actually manage to find the frag. Now Sticko looking to back him up. Tizian over towards Vent as well, and it really is looking like every single player is trying to take back this mid presence. It's working out quite nicely so far, as a couple of kills come in for Tizian, popping out of Vent, and Crispy will back him up in return. Smite going to go for the peak, but missing a shot leaves him very low on HP, and well, temptation for the HE was there. Spray from Crispy will allow him to keep his head for now. Smike's still there and waiting. That nade could actually do the damage necessary, and it's perfect from Tizian. Lands it exactly where needed. And now Zero, he's left with 15 HP and 2 players to find.
A very difficult situation for him to pull off. He has 40 seconds to play with. Does have a HE flash and a smoke. But for aTTaX, this should be a quick and easy, simple mop-up. A nice way to get themselves on that halfway marker on that 4th round to bring this one back into their favour. They are going to be looking for what will be a flawless half, bring it straight back to 7 rounds. But even then, they could still find themselves being a spanner in the works, as Hellraisers will be looking to find just a couple more rounds. But in this one, Zero still on that huge back foot, just playing around in the back line, seeing if he can find anything at all. Now going to be going straight for the peak here, but cutting the time way too close. Will get taken down by Tizian. A very nice round once again coming out from the CT side.
Yeah, and here we will see a buyback up. A lot of damage has actually been done, considering it's only been 3 rounds in a row for the T-side economy. They will be forcing pretty much everything into this, and well, you can already see Tizian now up to 9,950, 6,950 onto Keeve as well, so definitely enough for them to rebuy towards the end of the half, and it looks like maybe the train has hit the station and well, flung off in the other direction instead, because Alternate Tech starting to get things back. Of course, it only takes 1 round to break their momentum and have that possibility for them to actually not win this, so I'll bring back the half. Either way, here comes the aggressive push straight up. Crispy will find the first. Bondnik is there to trade. KZ going to be pushing straight up close and personal to the smoke, and they do still have a couple of players here. They do have to be very careful though, as Bondnik has snuck all the way around the site. Has a huge chance to actually push through, but it's going to be quick kills. KZ finding 2. Searson with another, and now Sticko, he's the last man left, not even going to find the frag he was aiming for, and big round coming out from the A-site players.
this point, I have to almost pull out the reflective card, Tom. I have to say what's changed because of aTTaX. This is looking so much better. Whereas HR, they seem answerless. They don't know how to respond. They don't really know what's changed either. And well, they seem to be willing to be perched at 8. We haven't really seen them move for a little while. aTTaX, they're pulling back a nice little streak of rounds. But even at that 8-5 scoreline, they only need 2 more to pull off that 7-8.
I think the big thing is they've gone quite heavy towards mid. They've started playing that mid aggression very heavily. When they finally lost it, it was taken straight back, and Tizian went big, and I just think that worked wonderfully for them. They have gone over to that A site a little bit more in this round because a lot of pushes have come in that direction. Just pistols on the board, 1 AK for Smike, and, well, already counter nades being used wonderfully to slow down this push. Every single player stepping in to add a couple of kills to the board. And there's only 1 player left, and it's Zero with the Deeg. Not even on the correct site, just going to be trying to hold off Tizian. Will manage to grab a kill, got himself an AK as well, so definitely the potential for him to try and save that into the next round. But at the same time, with over a minute left on the clock, the likelihood of that happening pretty damn slim. Will grab himself another 22 HP to actually play with. And I feel like, although the hunt is not necessary for the alternate attack side, it would be nice for them to just remove this gun from the map.
Keith will be the man to deliver that final killing blow. Takes him down the gun. Well, being well and truly removed as the CT side of aTTaX will find themselves on 6 rounds. That means that, well, Tom, we're on our last. So we're either going to be seeing that 6-9 come into effect, where we finally see Hellraisers break the streak, which for me, doing this on the last round will give them momentum maybe on the pissed round. In the grand scheme of things, it looks like there's nothing there at all. And in fact, for aTTaX, something I didn't expect to be saying on the second map, they're doing a good job at bringing things back. And the potential for them to take 7, at this point, it should be a fairly simple and cut and dry job.
Yeah, they've been doing much, much better. The AWP of Kyiv has definitely been the catalyst for that comeback. That 1 round that he brought home on his own made things very, very clean, and then everything else, sort of the utility side of things, the M4s fell into place, and that's sort of where alternate attacks are much, much better when they have everything in their hands. I don't think they're that crazy with the pistols or expecting to see anything sort of eco-friendly where they just keep that low budget and manage to bring things back. It's not really going to be the case. However, here is Crispy. Nice work to start off the round. Takes down 2 players, making this look like a very easy start to the round. Still 3 more players to deal with, Zero, Sticko, and Bondik. And, well, Bondik, they can almost guess where he's going to be. He's been in this position nigh on every round.
Perhaps it's a little too common at this point. Sticko is going to try and find something, but meanwhile on the other side of the map it will be Bondik. Next in line to fall, as Crispy will be the man to take him down. Citizen now looking for something over towards mid. I think he's quite close on to fact as a player there, and will already go straight for the pre-aim, following up the second frag, looking for Zero. The headshot will roll in. That's going to be that 7-8 half coming into full effect. And I've got to give props to aTTaX at this point. I've got to say, you know, well done. You've done what, right from the start in that original scoreline, seemed impossible. They strung 5 together, back to back. And will you take a look at how that one went? Just kind of go, just what happened?
Yeah, they got 6 on the board. It doesn't show the last round, but yeah, they got 6 in a row, so really nice work from them, managing to bring things back all the way from 8-1 to an 8-7. Still got a long way to go. I would say that Hellraisers, they're not a bad CT-sided team. I think Smike would definitely have to do some nice work, but if they've got these duos, the remaining players working well on either side, I don't think there's going to be too much of a problematic scenario. Obviously, can't really tell too much from strategy in terms of the pistol just yet. Going to go for an aggressive push over towards mid, and it does look like they're playing somewhat of a retake strategy over towards A once again. Nades in the hands of Smike, almost guaranteed that that's going to be a possibility, and Bondik, the closest player to A, is actually going to hit that headshot nice and early. The only problem is the majority of players actually over towards the B side.
I think just want to take a look at Angel. You can just see him just worming his way up right behind what potentially could be the entire T side. But Tizian, they're actually going to be on his tail. They aren't quite going to spot him out. So it comes whether they check to their right. And they are going to do it. Kyiv now potential to find this frag. They're spamming away with his clocks. The shots will be landing in. Can Angel do any damage at all? Or will he be quick to fall? The aggression, well, it's not paid off. Tizian will pin him down. The headshot side at this point, they should have some nice, quick, easy information. But Tizian, he finds another headshot straight to the cranium of Sticko. Now Citizen looking for one of his own.
Yeah, and that was sort of one of those positions that normally would have worked, playing a retake over towards A. The only problem was normally you go aggressive towards one of the sites and not middle, and it sort of left him in a position where he had no idea where any of the players were and ended up being caught in between 2 places. So unfortunately he goes down. Now Kyiv going to grab another, and while Smike may have himself a Molotov, which should be great if he throws it over towards quad, The only problem is they are starting to run out of time a little bit, and while that's sort of the worst case scenario with that nade, it explodes in the air, doesn't actually do anything at all, and now they can just sit in their after plants without any real information being gained from the CT side, not even knowing where anybody is. And if I'm honest, it may be better for Bondic to just save the kit and have it into the next round, because I don't think there's any sort of chance for him to actually do this one. It's exactly what he's going to do. Gets a couple of kills, falls back, will keep a smoke and a kit into the next. Alternate aTTaX have done exactly what they needed to do.
A nice way for that one to unfold, and this is where I have to say the talking point will be where the Hellraisers go for the Force.
They will. No, I'm not really surprised by that at all. With a kit in play, you might as well go for something a little bit additional. A couple of kills for Bondic mean that he can even get an SMG on the board. That does mean the drop of head armor, which can be a little more vital, but actually so heavy on the rifles on the T side, it's not even the worst case scenario. We're going to see Deagles on Smike and Zero, and we know that these guys can do the damage, but yeah, I would have been very surprised if the Hellraiser side actually went for any sort of eco in the scenario. Most teams will go for the second round buy, but it is just going to be a straight up build up towards this A site, and there are only 2 players actually in position here. They haven't gone for any sort of stack or any sort of even just leaning towards one of the sites. The aggression is mainly over towards middle, and now we will see these nades thrown out, the one thing that the CTs do not have.
The one worrying concern is that they've gone from 2 members over towards A to what seems like just 1 player actually on the site, because it's all well and good playing that highway scenario, but if you don't actually get the cross in, you are useless. But thankfully, it's going to be Sticker. He's heard our call, moved over towards the site itself. The aTTaX, they haven't quite made a move just yet, but they're going to be waiting. But my one concern is they've already wasted 1 smoke. That will well and truly fade. They haven't really got too much from it. But they're actually going to go in for the leave here, so it looks like they're trying to pull off a fake. But they haven't quite expected the fact that Angel is going to be holding this angle.
Yeah, smart decision from Angel this time, playing a lot more passive, going to hit the shots, going to have an SMG on the floor, but not pick it up just yet. Going to give it a little lob bite over to his teammate. They do also have that SMG on the site for Bondic. He's taken some early damage, needs to try and make this work. Will in fact drop the kit on the site, so that's at least something valuable for the CT side, but these rifles are definitely doing the damage now. 3 players tagged low, so there is a possibility to drop a couple more and do a hell of a lot of damage. You have to remember, when you buy this many rifles, the idea is to save as many as you possibly can in order to make money that way, rather than having to rebuy them. So still potential for damage to be done, but it doesn't look like they're really going for too much. Angel going to be playing very far back. Smike will be just looking for a bit of a peek, but it doesn't look like he's going to find anything, and they will just keep these pistols and bring them into the next.
The first time in a while, we are going to be seeing aTTaX take themselves a lead. HR placed on the back foot. And this is really nice to be seeing. Now we're just going to be waiting to see that buy round come in. For the most part now, we should just be seeing that next round be a nice, quick and easy eco bash. Nothing too crazy going to take place there. Really, of course, eyes are going to be on the 5.7 and the Deagle. Notably because they have the armor as well. And Smike.
Yeah, that's going to be a big factor for them. They have those couple of pistols that they can try and do a bit of extra damage with. SMG going to be dropped over to Keep because he wants to keep as much money as humanly possible ready for that AWP, but the fact is they're going in with the lead onto their T side, so there's not going to be too much worry on that alternate aTTaX side. Of course, this is their map pick. They are going to be confident on the favoured side of the map. I think you'd be mad going to a map where you're not confident on that side, and already they're going to be taking down that 5.7 and armor, so Angel going to have next to no impact other than the damage done onto Citizen. Keep will be taken down by Smike, but he's down to just 3 HP. Actually, they may have the potential to do a bit of damage here. Nice work, actually. They're doing a hell of a lot. Already taken down 2 players. The other is low, but this should be it now. Crispy sprays 2 down. Bondic has an SMG, and that could actually be far more valuable than even thought, because he's going to find one. That's $600. Crispy is actually... Oh, doesn't quite manage it. That would have been so big if he managed to get that kill.
Gotta say, I have a tiny bit of belief, a shred. Bondic maybe can do at least some damage in this round, as that flash looks like it's going to roll out. We've seen the player run for the hills, and KZ White, the 1 full HP player, will just be there, biding his time, playing in Leaf Heaven, finds the frag. It's going to be that 10-8 scoreline coming into full force aTTaX. They've got themselves the 2-round lead, but now we see the full force buy rolling out from HR. They're bringing everything to the table. The one ingredient that is missing is going to be the AWP. For the most part, I don't think that's going to have too big of an impact.
Yeah, Smike definitely someone who can use the rifles. I would say I prefer him to be on the AWP, but it's not the worst case scenario. He did a little bit of damage with his Deag in the last round, and, well, I do prefer, if you are going to go for the force buy, for the team to force as a team, because it's kind of the point. You're trying to win the round, not just do damage. So in this round at least, there is some utility on both sides. The T's obviously a little bit better off as they have the monetary position to do so. The setup does actually have quite a few players over towards B. Middle still being a big factor, and actually it's going to be nice work. Sticko, Zero, and Smichael finding frags, leaving just 2 players left at the moment to try and bring this one back. Casey and Searson, and already with the bomb down, this is going to become much more problematic. The only real advantage is Casey knows exactly where his opposition is. Should be able to get a free frag. Unfortunately, his teammate has fallen in the meantime. Looking to try and find Zero. Has a Molotov to throw out onto the side, which should push him into an angle. But Angel is very quick on the rotate, and they manage to even survive with 3 players.
Around, back on the board, the Hellraisers side. They are, of course, going to be trying to claw things back, but the economy on aTTaX means that, well, it's going to be another buy. Looking like it's going to come straight full circle, as they have a good chunk of money to play with. They'll be able to get an AWP up. They're going to be getting Galil. It means that 2 players will be on the less comfortable side of things with the drop to aTTizian. It means the only player taking the hit, realistically speaking, will be Searson. And he's only wielding a Deagle, whereas on the HR side of things, it's nothing pitch perfect. They do have that UMP in play on Sticko after all. For the most part, they are looking fairly solid, as they will be looking for that 10-10 scoreline. Of course, Kyiv can be very aggressive with the AWP. There's a player holding very up close and personal. Find a frag. Will he predict anyone playing close at all? And I've got to say, I'm looking for a Molotov to maybe be thrown just to clear out those mid angles that can just decide to go for a push.
Yeah, already the nade doing a nice amount of damage to Kyiv. He's down to just 49. Angel holding quite a decent position, but he's going to look away at the wrong time, and Kyiv will get away with a free frag. So that was sort of an unlucky situation to be in there for Angel, but it does mean his teammate has fallen. Nice headshot to find the first frag for his team. Looking for more, not quite going to manage it. Tizian will take a hefty tag though.
I've got to say, in that sort of scenario, that's when you get just a little bit too greedy. You see the frags, you see the fact that yes, we can take this round. I can find that frag, I believe. But there are times when you just shouldn't go for the peak. Whereas now for Smike, I'm kind of a fan of this because this push could be huge. If he can find himself a spray down, the one problem is KZY, he's prepared for it. He's holding that one in Toxic, takes him down. Now that B site, it's just one player to hold things off. It's going to be Zero. He's going for a huge round, peeks out, finds himself one frag. It's not going to be enough. There's now the pressure for Bondic. Well, it's well and truly going to be on. It's a 1 versus 3, and he's already committed to going for that save.
Yeah, not really too much he can do in this scenario. Retaking the B site is difficult enough as it is. Doesn't have himself a kit, has some utility to play with, but may as well just save that into the next round. And, well, this could be pretty much the worst case scenario at the moment for the Hellraisers side. They are going to get completely reset, and they've got to go back into the next round with no loss bonus.
No loss bonus indeed. That reset coming full circle to the HR side. But they are going to be feeling just the essence of death somewhat. They looked at least to try and do the damage, but take a look at kind of how things did unfold. You can see the Azul is actually acutely highlighting the fact that it's been a very back and forth game with a bit of an interesting twist and turn for aTTaX, because we didn't expect to be seeing them at 11-9 scoreline.
Yeah, no, this is a massive streak that they've had. We saw 9 rounds in a row, then a blip on the radar from the Hellraisers side, but other than that, we haven't seen too much really impressive. That first buy round almost seems like it caught alternate aTTaX off guard with the crossfire, heavy setup over towards B. And, well, now they're doing that same sort of setup again, but the problem is they do not have the weaponry to back it up. Just going to have to rely on any sort of crossfires that they have. So, yeah, definitely a problematic scenario at the moment for Hellraisers. They're going to be going at least 12-9 down before they get a buy on the board, unless they really can make this work with that one rifle and the pistols. And, well, that one rifle is actually going to be within that sort of stack, boosted up in middle.
Let's see what damage you can do. It is playing over towards vents. But even then, what will take place? The time is going to be ticking down. aTTaX are looking for something. It's going to be a very slow round coming out. They're playing this one very surgically, making sure they check every single angle. Because, well, for their perspective, they got the 4 rifles, they got the AWP. There's no reason for them to give away any quick and easy frags. But Bondic, he will find one. Takes down Searson. KZY now going to be on the trade. Gets taken down by the pistol of Sticko. Tizian is going to find the trade eventually, but then he will find himself getting punished by Zero. Goes in with a huge spray down. Finds 2, drops the bomb. And now we're looking at just one man, a lone ranger, an AWP. Well, he might be out hunting, but in a 1 versus 4, that's a desert you don't want to be caught in.
Yeah, more. I sort of mentioned that they'd have to rely on their crossfire, but instead they rely on Zero. Just managing to pick up that 1 AK, spraying down 3 players eventually, and that is a really nice round from him, stepping up when needed. And, the one thing I do have to compliment both teams on at the moment, the spread of frags from, what, top to bottom in the whole game is, what, 4? That's ridiculous. After this many rounds, for the lowest player in the server to have 12 and the highest to have 16 really just shows that everybody is on point at the moment. The only problem is there's not that many rounds left, and whoever steps up in the last few can actually be the one to take the whole game.
100%. As now we look to be getting towards the inklings of the end of this second map, Tom. It's all going to come down to will be going to a third. Some damage being done with the HU grenade, landing straight to the chest of Kiev, but he will find the 1D. Takes down Sticko, so the punishment and judgment will land. But now he's looking to dish out some pain of his own. Going straight to the peak. Angel to take him down with the M4. You have to know what, this is just pistols for attacks, not too much investment taking place. If they do any more damage, I've got to say we'll be a little bit worried for the HR side.
Yeah, it should just be clean up at this stage. We've already seen one. Oh wow, they're actually going to get the bomb down. That's actually nice. That's really nice. Their economy got reset, but they will get an extra $800. Playing these close angles does give them the potential to find a couple of kills. And Searson going to grab one, Crispy going to grab another. And well, this is actually looking pretty good now. They've managed to get only 2 players surviving. Spike was even pretty low, so it was even a potential scenario where they won the round. However, it will go back to 11-11. The buy is almost definitely going to come in now that they have just saved and got a bomb down. You can see Kiev, Tizian, quite a lot of cash to spend up, same on Searson, so really not going to be too much of a problematic scenario here. And I'm liking the look of this buy coming in from both teams. Just finally seeing 2 big buys facing off against each other. Molotovs on nearly every player on the server, 8 people with Molotovs, and it's only really KZ with slightly less nades than the rest of his opposition.
And we're looking at the HR side that are going to be wanting to storm ahead, but they're making some key mistakes, and well, that's just being perhaps a little bit disheartening, should I say, for me at least, Tom. Because of course I was looking to see a much stronger kind of CT side from HR, albeit they've had a couple of nice rounds. Smite going to be kicking things off in a nice fashion, takes down Tizian. So this potentially could be looking to prove us wrong. Now Searson looking for the trade, just playing around, just aiming, peek, that smoke will come down, which means there's nothing for him to look for, and the HG grenade will actually land at his feet, only dishing out 86 HP though.
Yeah, 3 players remaining. Hellraisers looking to try and keep this one clean and boost up enough money that they have a nice amount if they are to falter again. Couple of smokes being thrown out, but it has actually baited a little bit of a switch. They're playing quite a passive setup at the moment, which should allow for the bomb to be planted if they are to go aggressive here. Of course, a lot of angles being cleared out that don't actually have any players in. For obvious reasons, they don't know that. But it will now mean that they can start their push. Nice position from Bondik, but doesn't actually manage to do the damage. Now we're back to a 3 versus 4 with the bomb able to go down on the site. Going to be Kiev holding the angle. Nice shot onto Smike. We're now on an even scenario. And this setup has not paid off at all from the Hellraisers side. Completely abandoning the site. Angel will manage to grab one, but it's just a trade. And an individual push, meaning there's no chance for his trade to come in on the other side of things. Bomb going to be planted. Taking its time. And well, now really, this is the position from Sticko. I don't like it, but he does manage to get a kill. Opening that door. Maybe it was already open because surely they should have known he was there. Now we need to see a couple of players pushing together. It will be Sticko peeking out. They know exactly where he is, and that's nice team play in the end as Zero finds the frag. But much, much closer than it should have been. We're in a 5 versus 3, and they completely abandoned that A site.
Abandonment indeed. But it's going to be HR standing united and walking away with the round. The team play towards the end of that one. You might have not liked the position of that squeaky door area, but the fact that he knew not to go for the overface straight off the bat and just to wait for his teammate to make an inkling of noise, which meant that he fell back towards the back corner of quad, that's some nice stuff alone. And it means that ultimately, thanks to that clutch, it's going to be that 12-11 score, and HR, they are going to be looking to pull ahead with this one. aTTaX, well, they want to stop it right in its tracks, right from the get-go, as they are going to be back on the force. It's going to be those 2 Tech 9s in Crispy and KZY's hands. The 3 rifles for them to help them out, as they are going to be just looking to barrel out straight towards this B site. Very explosive round, as the flashes are already doing the damage.
Yeah, they're going to be lining up a Molotov for the site. Throwing these in, clearing a lot of angles already. You see the push making its way, and there's actually only 2 players. They didn't force any rotations. KZ going to get a kill onto Sticko with the Molotov. Will be a quick trade for Smike, and there's still a player on the side they have to worry about. You have to remember these smokes, they're not going to last forever. They have to be very careful here. It's still on, but it's going to be Zero to peek out and find the frag, and now they only have the Tech 9s left. 1 rifle in hand of Kiev, but 2 riflers have gone down in the meantime, and they've taken so much time to get onto the site. And look at the spray from Zero. That is huge control. Finding 2 players with headshots, and he has single-handedly just held down this site. But why? After throwing all those nades, why did they not just storm the site? That's what you do with Tech 9s. That is literally what they're designed for. Run and gun.
Well, we even read the round for ourselves. We kind of looked at it and went, it's going to be a nice and quick-paced round. They might go for the slow execute, but once those mollies pop off, it should have been, more quick-paced again, to kind of repeat myself. But it wasn't. They slowed things right down. They tried to change the tempo. And as much as we praise kind of altering the tempo at times, that was not the time to do it. They did get punished. Hellraiser's going to pull ahead a little bit further. 13-11 scoreline. And now we're looking at these Glorians trying to do some damage of their own. Sticko going to be throwing a bit of a tag out. Crispy. From frag of his own, but already the straight up looking like Sticko wants to find it. Angel is going to support his teammate, and the frags will roll back in. Tizian will find one of his own. So at least it's going to be a trade. It's still not in their favour. Keeve is going to find one, but Zero popping straight out of vents. And Smike, well, he's just picking up the flag. And at this point, I've got to say, that is just a dominating round rolling out from Hellraisers. There's not too much we can say.
Yeah, Crispy has managed to get this back into a position where it's possible. He has plenty of time to play with. I don't think there's much chance of him isolating these duels, as you can see both players pushing together. The bomb's still very far back at this stage, and Smike may not expect him to be this close, but will actually find the frag, peeking out very quickly. And well, alternate attacks have been constantly forcing for the last few rounds, not allowing that AWP to come into Kiev, and I actually think that's been one of the bigger factors here. Although they're very close in terms of the fragging ability, he's been someone who's been stepping up across the board, and it's looking a little bit scary at this stage.
I almost want to talk about Zero, a player that's almost certainly not sitting on Zero. He's having a huge game.
I think that's the worst pun you've ever made.
I mean, we say we all dropped to whole new levels of lowness. That right there is well, a plummeting drop. But for the most part, we have to give him credit. Jokes and puns aside, really is stepping up in a huge way, delivering for HR.
But he's always been the player since Oscar has gone that I was highlighting. Obviously, Sticko had a huge game in the last, but Zero's still been there all the way across the board. Either way, Smike's still doing his work, and we are going to see this push onto the A site using smokes. It's a sort of abandonment at the moment from the CT side, just trying to play the retake style. They have hits across the board. Angel going to spray one through the smoke. Hello, a lot of damage being done. Bondic will manage to get one. A slight freeze spraying there. It's going to make things more interesting as Tizian quickly grabs 2. But it's looking like an open and shut case at the moment as Crispy now has to try and go aggressive to pull this one back. And it's going to be Bondic to find the frag. So 15-11. After a streak of, 9 rounds, it seems that they've finally fallen off. And, well, that's been the story of this game, really. It hasn't been backwards and forwards. It's been very one-sided for both teams on different occasions.
Yeah, we just saw 2 sets of strings being extended backwards and forwards, just being kind of wound off their spools. And ultimately, I think aTTaX, they found themselves very much cut at the feet. They looked at least try not let one go as easily as HR. They have one more round to try and pull off. They've got by far the better buy. All they have to do is hold off this quick-handed push on towards the A site. It's going to be already aggressive. Case White first to fall. Tizian, he's going to find the trade towards the end of things, but I think Bondic has spotted out a player straight through the smoke, finds the headshot. This is looking already nice for the HR side. That's going to be their 4 versus 3. The Molotov and HE looking to do some damage of its own. HE not quite going to connect. So it will give them an opportunity, but now Zero will take down Surson. That's getting bleaker and bleaker by the second. Alternate attacks as well. It's going to be Crispy trying to find a frag. Going to miss the shots. Knocking Bondic down to just 12 HP, but 12 HP is not enough to find a frag. The Sticker will take him down. And now we're looking at just Kiev. He's got 27 HP. He's trying to hold this one off, but it's not going to be enough. The defuse will roll in. And Hellraisers, as predicted, at least from my perspective, a nice and smooth quick 2-0.
Nice and smooth?
I'd say that was nice and smooth.
Apart from the bit where they lost like 9 rounds in a row, I don't see that as smooth. I'd say the scoreline seems smooth, but they were definitely up against the wall at some point. I think I'm going to have to completely disagree.
Some people, some teams, they struggle every now and then.
Sometimes they just give away 9 rounds in a row. Yeah, I don't know. Either way, happens. It is going to be Hellraisers going through. They go straight through to the semi-final after the duck out of Mouse Sports, which is an unfortunate fact, but Hellraisers is definitely a team that I would like to be seeing over towards that LAN either way, so I think they're an exciting team to watch. Either way, that is it from us for the European side of things, but we will be back in a few hours with some more North American Counter-Strike, so if any of you EU guys are still up, come join us, and if you sort of NA guys are up this morning, I suppose that's what it is there. I don't really know. Then make sure you're there with us too. Either way, thank you very much for watching. That has been Hellraisers versus Alternate aTTaX, and we will be back a little bit later.
E-gaming bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2, make a prediction for picks and bans. Play CSGO, discover more than 5 various kinds of bets just for a single map. Daily quests for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Getting tired of playing with the usual skins, but don't have enough money to buy a new one? Get rich fast with CSGoFast.com. CSGO Fast. It's a strong chance of winning in every game. Several rooms with different game modes. Daily, more than 1,000 games, 5,000 players, and 25,000 skins at stake. You don't need much in order to sweep the board.